We hope that you enjoyed the show. You will hear many shows here on selfdiscoverymedia.com. We have new shows for you out every week. Just find them on our podcast or What's New. If you feel that you have something to share that makes a difference in the lives of others, or you too feel that you could be a host, please contact me at info@selfdiscoverymedia.com and we will be glad to speak with you. Have a wonderful day. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of Sarah's View of Life, right here on selfdiscoverymedia.com. I'm your host, Sarah Troy. I recently wrote an article on Meghan and Harry after their interview with Oprah Winfrey. I said right in the top sentence, it's going to bring out the bashes, and it has. Piers Morgan in England, oh my God, just volcaning over spewing of hate. It's just unbelievable. And a lot of other people, have come out and saying, oh, they're owned by the royal family. They shouldn't be doing this. My article was on, I commend what they're doing. I commend the fact that they stood up to say, I was suicidal, I was depressed, I was restrained. They were puppets in the system. Now, I've got nothing against the royal family. I'm a British person. I've always looked up to them, their dedication, their work. They do so much good work. But this illusion of perfection, the fairy tale and then everything else is just not reality. And we're in a world right now where we ask people to be authentic. We ask them to be themselves, brace their own beautiful instrument and be of service to others in kindness, caring, in a fulfillment of true abundance. And we can't ask them to do that and then say, but you and you and you have got to still sustain this fake facade of happiness and love and everything else when you're miserable. Why? It's not fair to them. It's not fair to anyone in the public figure. And we're seeing so many stars that have stepped up and saying, look, I suffered from drug addiction, or I've been dealing with depression. I am lost, just churning out records or churning out roles and just kind of not being myself. We want them to be themselves. We want whatever work they do to come from the inside out. We want them to be attached to it because it then relates to us. Yes, you can have your fantasy shows, that just take us away. And we don't expect you to be that role. But there's got to be something of you in there that really is truly your core person. That is what we embrace. That's what we need to see. So seeing the media bashing is just quite distressing because let's face it, folks, if we didn't buy it, they wouldn't have a platform. So I'm asking everyone out there, don't get on the bandwagon. My God, did we see enough of this with Trump? Was he a shoot stirrer? All he had to do was just demean, belittle, and destroy someone, and everybody would be, yeah, let's get out to get them. And it's disgraceful. It really is disgraceful. We are all responsible for our own behavior. And yes, we're going to have reactions. We can have opinions. We can hold people accountable. But if somebody is sharing their pain and their suffering, who are you to dismiss that or belittle that? You're a small person. The media loves to get into the sensationalism. That sensationalism sells. Fear sells. Hate sells. Well, would they have anything to sell if we were not buying? What if we demand better from our media? What if we demand better from those that are reporting the news, those that are on the societal news? What if we said, we're not going to feed the titillation anymore at the expense of somebody else for your pleasure? What if we changed the pleasure around, and the pleasure instead is somebody openly admitting, these are my struggles, and this is how I went through it. And this is who I am today, and be that inspiration for others instead of us tearing them to pieces. I know what it's like to be a person who didn't fit the bill. Um, People would fall in love with me for my spirit and who I am, my heart, because it's always out there, and then want to change me, put me in a box, control me, restrain me. And it depleted me. I lost myself for quite a few years. And as I came back out into life and struggled to get back out into the light and not to be afraid of the dark, I can go into the dark now because I am the light. I had to learn that. I had to struggle to find myself again and to be Sarah, not what somebody else wanted Sarah to be. I know it's a journey. I know it's a struggle. I know it is a forever learning, because that's what life is about. It's always learning, always wondering, always exploring, always becoming. And it's a wonderful state of being if you get into that adventurous mind. But when you've got people who rather pull you down than pull you up or push you up, it's rather despairing, isn't it? I mean, I know every single one of you listening to this has got somebody in your life or has had somebody in your life that is somebody that will pull you down, that will belittle you, that would demean you, that would tell you you're not enough, you're doing it wrong, you're not good enough, you should be thinner, you should be this, you should be richer, you should be doing that, all the shoulds. And you've got to do what's right for you. Now, if somebody with really good heart intent says, I see this for you, or I know you can do this, and that is done in an encouraging and nurturing way, that's different. But there are so many people, and my wonderful 85-year-old landlady right now, she's been going through a thing of a friend who every time she calls her tells her what she's doing wrong. She's got to drive a different car. She's got to move to a different place. She's old now. So she'd be doing this and this and that. Why aren't you listening to me? And every time she calls her, she's always telling her that she's doing something wrong. And and then she says, I just want you to be happy. And my little friend Audrey says, have you asked what makes me happy? I'm happy driving my car. I'm happy living where I am. I'm happy doing what I'm doing. And if my happiness is your concern, then you should be happy for me. No, that wasn't good enough for her friend. And her friend said, no, but I can make you happy. You've just got to do what I tell you to do. So my friend Audrey has said, lose my number. I don't want to hear from you anymore. Good for her. That's what we have to do to people that insist that we should be something different than what we're not. Lose their number. The media is getting flack nowadays. There's a lot more accountability. I mean, Pierce Brosnan on his show, Good Morning, whatever in England, went off, even though his other panel was saying, no, she spoke from the heart, he just went off about Meghan and then stormed out. There were 41,000 people who complained about what he did, just within the hour. And he says he's resigned, but I think he was asked to leave. He's still playing it up with people interviewing him in the street. I'm entitled to my opinion. I can speak what I speak. Yeah, Meghan spoke what she spoke. You didn't give her any of those rights. You shot her down, you belittled her, you sliced and diced her. Sorry, folks, your rights aren't any higher than anybody else's. And we all have the right to say something. The thing is that we don't have a right to hurt someone else, especially to make us feel better or more important. So I know it's very easy to be critical of somebody's decision, of the move that they've made, but we don't have to be nasty about it. We can say, why are you doing that? Have you thought of this? I worry about you doing that. You see, that's concern. Let them justify what they're doing. If you feel that is really detrimental to them, and say, look, I'm sorry, I can't get on board with this. How can I express why? It is about the dialogue. It's about the concern. It's about the conversation. There was a movie on Netflix, Bombshell, which is about, oh gosh, what was his name? Anyway, head of a big TV network. Sorry, folks, I kind of forgotten his name because I don't feed those kind of people. Murdoch, I think. And he would, women would have to do sexual favors in order to climb the ladder, wear mini skirts and be blonde. And unless they fit that profile, they weren't going to get anywhere. And eventually they spoke out. And when it came out, the people that had been subject to this for so long, he lost his position. And as rightly so. There are movies, there are conversations, there is conversations about depression. I was meant to interview someone this week who is a motivator and a coach and a counselor and everything. And the show got cancelled because her daughter, at the age of 15, committed suicide because of the cyberbullying from her so-called friends. Folks, please do not dismiss what's on social media as being just frivolous. For those that are vulnerable, those going through a difficult time, it hits home. It hits them where it hurts. And when people cowardly behind a phone or a computer or tablet start belittling, demeaning, demoralizing, degrading people in public in such a humiliating way, some people, and at the age of 15, most certainly, cannot see any way out, cannot see anything beyond that. And they end it. Or they go into drugs, or they try and find escape in other ways. And this, oh, they should toughen up. No. No. Since when being vulnerable means you have to be tough? So when being a person who's struggling with depression makes you weak? So when being a person who does not want to take the abuse anymore, being a person that's been a whiner? Crap to all three of those. We all have our vulnerability, every single one of us. The greatest gift we can give people in trust is our vulnerability. We're not meant to be closed off, close our heart off, close our spirit off, close our person off because we don't want to get hurt. That is such a waste of beautiful life. We're meant to open up our hearts, but we can have those boundaries. And those boundaries, I will not let you in if you wish me harm. Mentally, physically, verbally, spiritually, in any way. And if you cannot be nice to someone, there's just somebody out there that you cannot tolerate, you have no time of day for, that every single thing about them is just a disgrace to you, don't interact with them. Don't have anything to do with them. I feel this way about Trump. I've been open about it. And I'm only mentioning his name there just to kind of have you know who he is. It's a little bit like Voldemort. Let's not feed him. Let's not feed his hate rhetoric, his latest thing of let's make America white again. We have seen the 5 years of hate, loathing, division, demeaning, just, the lowest of lowest things, the children at the border and ridiculing people with handicaps. I mean, just the list goes on. And if you adhere to someone like that, it doesn't say anything about him. It says a great deal about you. If you get off by pulling others down, it speaks volumes of your own insecurity, your own fears. If you call someone else a coward, please look in the mirror. Because if you call someone who's an immigrant that's had to leave their country, everything they know, come to a new country, start all over again, and in the face of such adversity, such ridicule, such fear for their lives, purely because they're a foreigner or the color of their skin, that doesn't say anything about the immigrant who found the courage and the strength to start somewhere new because they knew it would be better for themselves and their family. It says a great deal about you, the bully. You are the coward because you've got to slice and dice that person to make you feel better. We're at that crossroads, folks. We're at that crossroads where we cannot tolerate this anymore. The Pierce, whatever his name is, and we cannot tolerate that when somebody really exposes their pain, their struggles, that we think that we own them because they're celebrities, or we think that because maybe they're rich. Do you know how many rich CEOs over there are lonely as hell? They're so fearful that the people around them only want something from them. They don't know who are the genuine people anymore, and they don't know how to be genuine anymore. In saving and building and owning their empire, they're scared stiff of losing anything. So, yeah, it's very, very interesting, the changes that are coming about, what we're tolerating, what we just won't put up with anymore. I'm asking you, I know how easy it is to react to what someone is doing. And I will always hold accountable the people bashers, the people that get off in pulling other people down, the people with their own ego, their own insecurity, their own greed, their own power, that will use other people to sustain themselves. I'm an advocate in supporting the people that are the victims of such abuse. I am sad for those people because they have not been willing yet to do the work that they need to do to find the inner love. They're not feeling love. They don't know how to express love. They don't know how to recognize love. The hate and fear that lies within their hearts is stopping them from opening up their heart to see all the love and the beauty that's in the world and that lays within them. Some people are just simply too damaged. They've been through too much in their life and it's too hard for them to come back from. All you can do is just put that white light of love around them and hope that one day it penetrates. But you can't stand up and bash someone. Hold them accountable if they are out there hurting others. But to stand up and bash someone who's trying to make their life better, that is in that vulnerability and honesty exposing what some people would consider a weakness and I just consider vulnerability. That strength and courage to do that, because they're not just speaking about themselves, they're speaking about the millions of people who are in the same situation. Now, I'm not talking about leaving the royal family, but maybe leaving the family or leaving a bad marriage or even in a bad job, just feeling so suppressed that they can't find a way out and scared if they show that vulnerability, they're going to be chewed up and spat out. They're speaking for those people. And if you haven't got a heart or soul, and if you haven't got a kind mind, and all you can do is bash these people, just shut up, please. Go yell at your mirror. That's the only one that's interested. Go and bash your mirror. See how it feels. See what kind of energy you're spewing out and see if you like it. Here in Self-Discovery Media, the people we interview are those who've gone through the process. They face those fears, those struggles, those pains and that suffering. They've gone through it. They found the strength, the courage, and the abilities. And now, on the other side, in that wisdom, they're now sharing the solutions and the understanding and the caringness for other people who are going through the same struggles. I applaud them with every sense of my being, because they're the true strength, they're the true currency, they're the true abundance and enrichments of our society. Not the people on the media or anywhere else going, me, 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 me. They're the people that have stepped up. They're the people that care. They're the people who are making a difference in the lives of others because they made a difference in their own lives, because they stepped up in that vulnerability. They're the people. Let's celebrate them. Let's applaud them. Let's be an example. Rise above the hate. Rise above the fear. Rise above the spite. Put yourself in a higher vibration that those people can't even touch you. Be bigger than them. Be better than them. Be more honest and truthful with yourself. We are awesome when we step into our awesomeness. In our flawsomeness, we are awesome. Being broken does not mean you're unworthy. The fact that you put yourself back together, that makes you a flawless diamond. Celebrate your vulnerability. Speak it without apology. Do not let anyone else have the right to spit in your face, because all that verbiage is a spitting in the face. You are needed. You are wanted. You are here to serve, and you are here to be celebrated. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Now, for my article on Meghan and Harry, I've written 3, actually. I wrote one, which was about the wedding, Sarah's royal wedding perspective. You'll find these all on Sarah's View of Life here on selfdiscoverymedia.com. Then when they left the royal family last year, I put leave Meghan and Harry alone. And then this latest one, which is the independence of Harry and Meghan. I've been getting a lot of feedback from this article because it doesn't just speak about them, it speaks about what they represent. So if you haven't had a chance to see the Oprah interview, please do. Whether you're Harry and Meghan lovers or not, it's that honesty and that truth that they're wanting to live is really, really applauding. They're still here to serve humanity. They're still here to stand for those that needs to be stood up for. They've just chosen to do it in a way where they are not puppeteers, where they don't fear. I mean, my God, there was a discussion on her baby of what are we going to do if it comes out darker than it should. You know, racism is still alive and well, folks. And, you know, we've just got to say no to it. It doesn't matter what the color of your skin is. It's what's the energy of your heart. That's what we look at. Our skin color is just an identity of our body's vehicle. We look at other cars and we go, you know, the Ferrari is red. That's so much better than the blue Yaris. Who says? Who says? It's just different. We are all just different, but inside we're all the same. We all wish to be heard, to be seen, to be counted. We all wish to be loved and be able to love. We all wish to know we're making a difference. We all wish to be of service to one another. That's all. Safety, health, security. That lies within each one of us, no matter what the color of our skin is. We all feel pain. We all know suffering. It doesn't matter what the vehicle that you are traveling in. It is about you and what's inside, and inside out is what counts. And somebody's still talking about someone's color of the skin and judging them for that. You know, here in Canada, we have had a great deal of Asian bashing, pushing 90-year-olds to the floor, tripping up people who are walking on walkers. It's just a disgrace. You know, there was a guy in a laundromat. 3 guys came in and beat him because he's Asian, all because they think it comes from, the COVID comes from Asia. Well, what the hell has that got to do with anybody in any of these countries living their lives? Who the hell do you think you are that you have the right to do that? Asian lives matter. Black lives matter. Every life matters. It doesn't matter who we are. As a human race, we matter. And no one else has the right to harm you in any way, especially for their own gain. So as I said, I invite you to read the articles. I will always speak out. I'm an advocate. I will always speak out for those that are in trouble. I will always share my opinion. I will always hold accountable those that I feel are doing harm to others, because I will not give you the energy for it. I will give the energy to the people that are being oppressed. Self-discovery media is about all those wonderful people. My God, when you hear some of these stories, you think, how do they get up in the morning? Yet they get up and they stand up and they serve up all the possibilities and opportunities and wonderment of living. If you can't celebrate that, what can you celebrate? So please, Sarah's View of Life is only 2 shows I've ever done with other people on Sarah's View of Life. It's all me. But all of the other shows are people who are out there making a difference because they made a difference in their own lives. Let's celebrate them. Let's forget about all those bashers. Let's not give them the limelight. Let's show them there are consequences to your actions, and those actions will have consequences. Not violence, just accountability. Violence does not resolve anything. Verbal, physical, or intimidated violence does not solve anything. Be stronger than that. If you disagree with someone or you need to know more why they're doing something, form a dialogue. Do some understanding, do some research, but don't use your media platform or any other platform or the social media platforms to bash someone who has openly admitted their pain. Until next time, folks, have a wonderful week. And remember, kindness starts with you. When you are kind to you, when you live in that love of life, that love of love, that love of caring, kindness, consideration, compassion, you become the light that you seek. And that light is sought over by other people. So please be that light. Rise above the hate, because it's had its day in abundance for centuries or for thousands of years. Let's give love a chance, okay? Have a good week. Bye for now. We hope that you enjoyed the show. You will hear many shows here on selfdiscoverymedia.com. We have new shows for you out every week. Just find them on our podcast or What's New. If you feel that you have something to share that makes a difference in the lives of others, or you too feel that you could be a host, please contact me at info@selfdiscoverymedia.com and we will be glad to speak with you. Have a wonderful day.